All right, so it's been a while since I've shot a video. And I honestly can't remember what I talked about last time, but basically did the brakes, raised the vehicle up by 10 mil, and things are pretty good for the most part. I've been able to drive it on a couple of drives. There's a little bit of rattling in the back that I can't figure out, or I haven't really attempted to find out, but I can't seem to get rid of. But the other thing I started dealing with was it's to do with the air box, and there's these two rubber air ducts that were not present when I purchased the car. And on initial observation, I assumed it wasn't necessary, but then I started thinking about it, and the air ducts, I believe, serve a purpose in that it kind of allows the air box to draw cold air or colder air from the rear deck lid versus the air that's in the engine bay. And that's what was happening, I believe, without these air ducts. The air was being drawn from the engine bay, which gets hot. So I looked into the parts. There's two different parts. One is the right side, one is the left side. And they're around like 55. The other side was like 60 something. For some reason, they're different prices. And I ordered it off of Pelican Parts. They seem to be the only place that had both of them. There's some other dealerships that had one side, and the other side was noted as being discontinued for some odd reason. Long story short, it didn't fit in the aftermarket wing that I have. I knew that going in, but I figured I would figure out a way to install it. And what I had to do was install it onto the actual air box, and it was somewhat of a MacGyver type fix. I used zip ties, but I believe, and I feel like I did a pretty good job in that it's drawing air from the top of the air or the rear deck lid, and thus colder air. Like I said, it didn't fit in the slots that were there. So I'm pretty happy with that particular modification, I'm going to say. The other thing I had to do was the orientation of the inlet was 180 degrees off. But no, not 100, 90 degrees off. So I rotated it just so it would fit the square or the opening a little bit better. So this is my first drive after doing that. I don't know if I can tell a difference, but psychologically knowing that colder air or fresh air is being drawn in makes me feel better. And like I said, even though it's kind of a MacGyver type of hack or fix, I believe it's going to stay stationary. It's not going to move, and it's serving its purpose pretty well. Overall, I am happy with the car. There's quite a bit of buyer's remorse, mainly because of the amount that I paid for the car, that I put into the car already. Everything I put into the car, I believe I had to do. There's nothing really unnecessary, meaning the detail, the paint protection film, and the PPF. I believe those are all necessary in the sense that it's going to retain the value of the car, allow me to enjoy driving the car without much concern. And then I think that's it. The other thing I did were the brakes, and so that was something that was definitely necessary, as I come to find out. So I'm glad I did that. If I haven't mentioned this before, the place I bought the brakes from and the brake pads, the name eludes me now. It's like PCF or something like that, Euro. They have an interesting program where there's a lifetime free replacement guarantee for all the parts that they sell, even wear parts, so even brake pads, brake rotors. I don't know about motor oil, but nonetheless, they say that anything they sell, they guarantee free replacement. And the policy or the rules are that you have to buy the parts from them, and then when they're due for replacement, you have to buy another part from them, send the used part to them, and they will credit you the amount for that replacement part. So, one might think that's like, not good business sense, but I believe it's pretty good in the sense that you don't really, unless it's like oil filters and oil, there's not a lot of parts that you're going to constantly be replacing. And what they've done by having this policy, they've basically insured a customer for life, and that's going to be for me. Anything that they sell, whether it's slightly more expensive, and usually it's very comparable, the prices, I'm going to buy from them just because I know that I can replace it for free down the road. So anyway, it's like PCF Euro or something like that. I'm not good on putting stuff in the description. I really don't have the time for that. Just look it up and you'll figure it out if you're interested in that. So anyway, I'm just doing a quick little drive-in video, mainly because I haven't put a video out. I haven't had a whole lot of reasons to work on the car besides those things, and that's with the 911. So the 928, it's still with me. I haven't sold it yet. Interestingly enough, the air conditioning stopped working, so I've troubleshot that. I believe to the point where I believe it needs more refrigerant, but I have to double check that it's not working. It was not working for a while, but the last time I looked into it, it seemed that the compressor was kicking on, although I haven't started it yet. So I'm going to test that out. If I do need to add refrigerant to the vehicle, I'm going to definitely record that, because during my whole ordeal of getting that air conditioning system to work properly, I wish I would have recorded everything, because I think a lot of people could benefit from what I had gone through. I could benefit from reviewing it because I have to remember exactly how to do everything. But I'm definitely going to record the topping off of refrigerant. I kept it R12, the original refrigerant. I should have probably converted it, but at the time I felt that there was more to the conversion, but there really wasn't a whole lot. But nonetheless, I kept it to R12, so I'll probably replace it with R12. I still really haven't really gone hard on the car, or taking it up to even redline or close to redline. I'm just kind of still feeling out the car. I still have this weird phobia or traumatic type of fear that something will go wrong or I'll discover something. So I don't know, I'm just kind of apprehensive about just hammering on it. But every time I drive it, nothing really happens. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I'm just unnecessarily nervous about it. It's almost like at some point I had to just throw caution to the wind and just drive it how I would normally drive a car. When I do go drive the 928, I'll drive that about once a week, and I almost have more enjoyment driving that car. Although as of late, I've discovered that my air conditioning didn't work or something else didn't work, and it was just kind of, every time I drove it, it seemed like something else wasn't working, so I'd have to fix it. Anyways. This car is much easier to drive than the 928, at least the shift action. And ever since raising the vehicle, it doesn't bottom out anywhere. I do have to take driveways at an angle still, just to be on the safe side. I know out of my driveway, if I come out perpendicular to the driveway, it does scrape on the bottom. And so I've I drive off of it at an angle. This is actually my first time driving this car kind of at dusk or in the evening. I'm kind of curious as to how the interior lights look. Not bad for the most part. I don't know why I have the air on. I should turn this off. I do like that feature. It's like climate control is just, you just set a temperature and the fan speed, or you put it in auto, the location of where you want it to come out on if you choose. And then you have just the option of turning air conditioning off. And that's it. Air conditioning off and recycling the air. And you just kick off the air when you want full power or when you don't need it. And I kind of like that.